Hi amigos, this time we got some Regalia support and holy crap, I'm excited. So we got a new Angelica, Regalia Wisdom Angelica. She's 11k base. When this card is placed on Vanguard Circle, choose a normal unit with Regalia in its name from your drop zone and put it into your soul. If you do, draw a card. Wow. Let me go over the second skill. Counterblast 1. When your G unit with Regalia and its original card name, the strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put one card from among them into your hand, and put one into your soul, and then put the rest into your drop soul. So, wow. So both the skills actually involve in giving you some hand advantage. Regalia for the longest time lacked that, not to mention early game. What I like about the first skill is that I can actually throw down units like, let's see, who should I throw down? There you go. Norm, where you can actually just throw it down, get an attack in, intercept with it, then your next turn you ride a grade 3, put it into your soul, and now she's there for the plus 5k when you actually need it. There's also cards like Armero that used to like grab those units and soul charge them too if you throw them down. Hesperus is also a valid target to grab, and it's actually can give Regalia some retire power. And so you keep like recycling those Hesperus between your soul and your drop zone to have that pressure. So with that first skill, it makes it a lot easier to reuse those cards to get power, to get retire, and all that kind of stuff. With the second skill, the counterblast cost isn't that bad in Regalia. Most of the time, the cost involves soul mainly. There's a few cards that actually do counterblast, but it doesn't add up as much, which is good. The thing about it is that you can actually soul charge one card and you get a card in hand, which is pretty good in Regalia. For the longest time, I want to drop Hemera because it's a card that only really soul charges from the drop for you. It doesn't do anything else, so you're using a grade 2 slot just to help out your Vanguard do its thing, where if this could be another card that could be better, or another card can do this and another skill on top of that, that'd be greatly appreciated. So we might see a drop completely in Hemera or reduced numbers if we could get in a unit that helps with soul charging. And also it sets up with the drop zone. So you got your stride like Earth, where it grabs all your Regalia from your drop and then put into soul, and then you could just like Soul Blast 6 every time you can, just to get plus 10 and a crit every time because it stacks. So you could abuse that. And I feel like this is going to be relevant with the new Minerva Stride, because I'm sure there's going to be some discarding costs, and you want to make sure you have some kind of hand advantage after your turn, so that way you don't die. So the next card is called Regalia Blast Wind Flap Angel. It's a grade 1. Choose a grade 3 card from your hand with Regalia in the name and reveal it. When this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one grade 3 with Regalia in its card name, reveal it, put it into your hand, choose a card from your hand, and discard it. And then the second skill is Continuous Hand. While you are paying the cost of Stride, this gets grade plus 2. So we just got a Regalia Searcher, just like the Zodiac Time Beast Stride Fodder, where you can search any card with that type of Regalia name. So we can actually look for cards like the original Break Ride if you want to focus on getting that Break Ride and then doing the setup with the OG Minerva. But I don't know if that's going to be relevant enough, and I'm not sure if what they're going to go with the Stride. They might make it a Vert clone, where you basically just ride the Minerva on top of the new grade 3 and maybe give it some power just to make it almost like a Break Ride, but I don't know. Or they make it a pure restander where it just restands as a restanding Stride. We also have cards like Idrizal, the Legion, that everybody was like afraid back in the day. Guard restriction and power, and so you can search this freely, and maybe you can play this at low numbers, maybe 1 or 2, when you really have the soul, and you can just do the Legion and return triggers on top of that. And then you got Earth, which you'll go into as Stride turns. And for the longest time, Earth needs basically not only the Regalia Heart, but also the G Zone is 2 or more requirement with the Regalia name. So if we can get a G Guard with Regalia name, Earth will be a lot easier to do. Minerva will, I hope, could be a first Stride, so that way you can also go into that, and you can go into Earth if you really need to. So going back to Flap Angel, I kind of got off subject, but with Flap Angel, you're able to search the right grade 3. You could even search for her if you really want to, which most of the time I feel like you are. There is the other stride bonus for Regalia, and that's for Dandy. I don't know if Verdandy's still worth it, but I know Angelica for sure is gonna do wonders for the deck. And for the hand, it's another stride fighter that actually Genesis has access to. Not that we already play more than, like, we have Skull as the stride fighter, but we don't really need more than that usually. Amaruta plays less grade 3s and almost no stride fighter sometimes, just for the revelation count, and because Amaruta can stride for free by Soul Blessing 3. Fenrir, you are playing 8 to 10 grade 3s, mainly for Fenrir, and you're going to play Skull for sure, so you can search for Fenrir. So it generally doesn't need more stride fighter than that, because you're already playing 8 to 10 grade 3s, so why would you play more than 4 stride fighter on top of that? But this is good for the Regalia variant in general. So now you have another card with Regalia in the name, and you can grab it with Angelica and other cards like, let's see where we can find it. Earth and Scold. Scold is our grade 1 that is basically gives us back into moves cards back into our deck. It also recycles our non-triggers in it, because it just says at the end of the turn, if you have Vanguard Regalia in the name, if 3 or more cards were put back into your drop zone from your soul during the turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and soul charge, with the 3 normal units as being the cost. And so she is our draw engine, she is our soul charge engine on top of that. So, and the more normal units with Regalia in the name that actually do something is better for us too. So yeah. Other than that, we'll have to wait to see what the actual Minerva does, but I am very impressed and I'm very excited with Angelica. I love the retrain art. It just looks pretty good, actually. And I'm tempted to get SPs. But who knows. So then, yeah. Give a like, comment down below, share with your friends, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. See ya.